God, she's such a whiny bitch.
What episode is this?
We're gonna talk about our anniversary thing.
Remember, don't say anything that gets us canceled.
I understand that. Okay. 3. Why are you worried about us getting canceled?
I don't want people attacking us because you're like, look, bitches, you're crazy, blah, 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 blah.
Hey everyone, welcome to So I Married a Geek, and this is our official anniversary episode, y'all. Anniversary because we have officially been together for 7 years.
7 years.
I am Gavin, and this is my husband.
Phil.
Husbando.
Esposo.
Anyway, so today, as we're recording this, is officially 7 years. And, it's been 7 years, y'all.
It has been a hell of a 7 years.
You know, in the 7 years we've been together, it has been a roller coaster of fun. And, you know, it's weird. If you look at past episodes when, we talk about how I proposed, we're very similar in a lot of things that happen, and I can't explain it. And it happened to fucking again. So he shattered his fucking finger a couple weeks ago.
Broke my fingertip in 7 different places.
Last week, I fell off a curb and shattered and fractured my ankle.
Yeah. So I went from being the one he was taking care of to having to be the one to take care of him.
And for him,
around.
It switched like that. And I was not expecting it. I felt really bad, y'all, because I'm usually the one that has to do everything around the house and take care of things, and he's had to. And getting up to take the dog out in the morning, taking out the trash, being responsible for things. Everything.
I'm really spoiled. You have spoiled me over the years.
We had a storm the other night. It knocked out half the breakers in the house, so he had to go through our garage of doom to get the breaker box. He never even opened the breaker box, y'all.
So I was like, what am I supposed to be doing?
He was so mad to have to go out there.
I didn't know what to do. I was like, how am I going to know which ones to flip?
The ones that are red.
Well, excuse the shit out of me for not knowing what to do.
So I just told him, do them all. So he had to go through and do them all. And y'all, he was mad when I woke up to do that.
I always am grumpy in the morning, especially when my back hurts, which is pretty much every day. So I woke up with my back hurting and then hearing I was going to have to perform a Russian acrobatic routine to get to the breaker box. Was not looking forward to it, but we got through it.
So my ankle hurts like hell. I keep tapping this fucking knee, and it's not helping. I'm trying to not take pills for it right now because I've been taking pills for a while, and I just am trying to see if I can manage it. It's just a constant, dull, sharp pain right there, and it's not fun. It's not fun. I have to wear a boot, and I have a walker. You want to feel old? I've fallen 100 bajillion times in my life, and now all of a sudden I fell. And my favorite part is going to the emergency room. Which way did your foot go? I said, I don't know. I was falling one way. It obviously went the other. They always with the specifics. I'm like, you're falling. How the fuck do you know? And I knew something must have happened because I did hear a pop. And I was like, okay, let's just go home. And we're on our way home. I was like, no. We got to go to the emergency room because this is not normal. Took my shoe off. My fucking ankle was the size of a softball, swollen up. It was bad. And then he couldn't even get into the emergency room.
They wouldn't let me in, so I just sat in the car having a panic attack, worrying about it.
And so I kept texting, hey, this was happening. And so, now I'm on the road to recovery. He's been on the road to recovery.
I still have a few more weeks of physical therapy, and so far, they were showing me on the x-ray where the little fractures, they're starting to heal, but they're not fully healed. So every time I touch anything with this finger, it hurts like a motherfucker.
This is going to be a while for this too. It's not fun. It's not fun when all of a sudden you just feel old.
No, but on a cheerier note, when you were talking, I thought you were going to tell a different story. We talked about how in sync we were. Our first Valentine's Day together, mm-hmm. I got him a black titanium ring that had the Superman symbol on it. And what did you get me for Valentine's Day?
Black titanium ring with Batman symbol on it.
But we didn't tell each other we were getting each other anything like that. At first, I was like, oh, it's only 4 months. A ring might freak him out. And I was like, no, we had we had 10 dates in the first 3 weeks of meeting each other.
He has to keep track of all these things because I don't, y'all.
I don't keep. It's not like keep track. It was just I thought about it as I was when we were first together. In the first 3 weeks, basically every other day we saw each other because we just couldn't be apart.
Yeah, it was weird. So we decided this year we just want to cook and just kind of hang out because it's a weird time. I mean, it's still post-COVID. We don't know what the hell's going on.
Next Friday is the 5th anniversary since my mom died.
Yeah,
so it's just a weird time. But
he found a bunch of pictures of him and his sister. So we're just gonna do a low key, stay home because it's fucking cold outside.
I love it. 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 And this is fall weather.
But see, he wasn't gonna do this after the big Texas snow again this year. He swore he would never want cold weather again, and I said, "I guarantee you, you're gonna want it again. You're gonna forget all about us being snowed in a house in minus like 20-degree weather with no power, no water, no gas, no heat, no nothing."
Y'all, I could not have survived on the frontier. Like, I remember one of those days I was just crying. He's like, "Why are you crying?" I was like, "Because we have no power and no heat and no water and no one cares." Like, I was just a wreck. I basically was reading my candlelight to try to distract myself.
Because I have rechargeable electronic candles.
Yes.
And so those last us quite a bit until we couldn't recharge them anymore. So we would, I think they last 2 days on a single charge, so we're turning them off and on. But if that happens again, we have a plan for this year because Terry and Kurt bought a giant generator. She's like, if it happens again, you come to my house.
So, how are we going to get there?
We could just drive right up the road. We'll know it's coming.
I was about to say, we better know it's coming because I don't drive on ice and neither do you.
Yeah. So there's a better plan for it this year. But one of the things that I've really enjoyed about this life is the freedom we have. And this has been very different. And it's one of the things that I was telling some other friends who are in very non-normative relationships. They work very differently than normative relationships, is, I guess, the best way to put it. Most of the time, about 90% of the time, a normal hetero relationship, the guys don't ever get to do anything. Like, we were going to go see a concert with a friend of mine in San Antonio, and he had to get permission to come up here. Instead of but if Phil wants to go, he's like, go, have fun here. I'm going to go to this concert. Okay, have fun. I know he's going hang out with friends. We've talked before about how a lot of women think you're not supposed to go out and have friends, and you're just supposed to stick with each other the whole time. And I enjoy the fact that we have just been free to still be us together, be us with our friends, be us with our friends together. I think it's absolutely amazing. I think the trust that we have is unlike any trust I've had in any other relationship. My last relationship, I had no trust in. That one ended very badly, as we know.
To say the least.
And, there's just a lot of things that are different when you're in a more open-minded relationship setting like we are. I've got plenty of friends who are married and they can't do anything. They always have to be permission, and then it's not about them. I hated the fact that a lot of relationships it's all just about one side. I always hated that. Everything is about usually her. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It's usually about that. Like the wedding, everything is always just about what she wants. And the whole house, like I was being told the other day from a friend of mine that they have a friend who loves to collect things and their wife collects things, but the wife doesn't like what he collects. So anytime he goes on a business trip, he has to take all of his stuff down because she's too embarrassed by it, but her stuff is just fine. And I'm like, why would you be in a relationship like that? And we know lots of people who are in not so good relationships, like my brother.
We shouldn't be calling people out.
Well,
I'm the lady, so I have to be Miss Manners about this. We shouldn't be calling people out.
And I was laughing with Shailene because he's like, "Oh man, I'm getting my man cave set up." I was like, "Look around my house. This is our man cave."
Yeah,
the whole house could just be what we want it to be. And I'm trying to find this good mix of both of us. And I think I've been doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Because at first they didn't quite understand what I was doing. It was like, "Oh, it's all me." No, it's not really all me. Yeah, I have a lot of shit like my board games, but there's a natural evolution of me trying to bring it. Now that he's finding more of his fandom, it's bringing out more of the aspects of both of us in here. And I've got all these projects in the pipeline, and we just have fun, and it's just so nice to be in a two-way relationship that doesn't feel like a one-way street. And with my ankle being hurt, I felt like it was, just all about me, and I hated that feeling. I'm like, no, I don't need you. Just no. He wants no. You're gonna take this walker. You're gonna get your ass outside. You're gonna wait for me. I'm like,
I just don't want you to fall and hurt yourself again. Just like you don't want me to fall and fracture another finger.
yeah.
We take care of each other.
After he laughed at me for falling off of a curb, because I fell off a curb, y'all. A curb.
I mean, it wasn't even a steep like drop or anything. But your parking lot at your job is kind of fucked up.
So. It is a very fucked up parking lot. That's what happened.
And you step into a crater, and then you're
just.
Plus, you like to wear cuter like logo type shoes, and those are not really known for great traction.
Yeah, I do have a lot of shoes that are like character pop culture shoes,
and so those are more concerned with the design on the printed part of the shoe than they are with the shoe actually helping you walk.
Hot Topic shoes are bad about that. Their soles are like they slip on everything. They slip on carpet. I only have like a couple of those.
And you were wearing one pair that day.
Oh, I was. I was wearing the Superman shoes, wasn't I?
Yes.
Yeah, they look good, but they don't have any traction. And so 7 years has been a lot of fun.
He keeps me laughing, and that was always on our first date. He asked me what I was looking for. I was like, somebody who makes me laugh. If you can make me laugh, I don't care about a whole lot of other shit.
How do I make? Well, I know my random thoughts make you laugh.
You're funny.
I am very funny, but he tries to constantly tell me I'm not.
No.
This is video proof of him admitting that I am funny because he likes to say you're not as funny as you think you are.
I say you're not as cute as you think you are.
Which that's a whole other argument because that he is now saying that I'm ugly because my sense of beauty is based on what he says.
No,
not what I say.
He's misconstruing like he'll do something that he thinks is really funny, and that's when I'm like, you're not as cute as you think you are. And it's something that my mother used to say to us when we were kids and we were being mischievous. She would be like, you're not as cute as you think you are, and letting us know just because you're adorable doesn't mean you can get away with murder. That's what I try to tell you. You take it as me calling you ugly. I'm telling you, you can't get away with murder just because you're so pretty.
This motherfucker right here does not understand. He just doesn't understand, y'all.
I guess according to Gavin, if you're really good looking, you can't get away with murder.
That's been my favorite thing about all this is I'm just happy. And at the end of the day, that's really just what matters. Is I'm just happy. We're not perfect. No one's perfect. We have our issues, but we don't really argue a whole lot.
The last 7 years, y'all, has been a lot of fun, but we've had really, really fucked up, hard, heavy times too. So making it to 7 years and being happy is really, to me, it's one hell of a trick to have pulled it off. Like, we've been through some shit. Like 2 weeks after we met, my mother was diagnosed with cancer. 2 years after we got together, my mom died. And then his aunt died like 6 weeks later. And then my uncle died 2 weeks after that. And it's just been that for 7 years or for 5 years of us being together.
But like I tell him, there's also been a lot of good.
And we're always together.
Always together. We're also very blessed. We have a house.
We've had lots of
We've
great
got a
times.
crazy dog. We've got amazing friends and family, mostly. We've got people who love and care about us. He's been able to make music. We're able to do shows.
You brought my inner fanboy back out that had been buried for so long.
And so I don't focus on the negatives. I always focus on the positives as much as possible. Because you can't just sit there and focus on all the negatives. It'll drive you up the fucking wall. And so, how has your 7 years been?
I just said they've been great.
I spent like 15 minutes talking about it. You're like, yeah, it was real good. It makes me laugh.
I mean, I don't know how to describe it, y'all. Like, I get to wake up with somebody who makes me laugh and makes me happy. And
when you wake up, I try to smother you in your sleep sometimes. You just don't fucking get the picture.
No, y'all. So I have a hard time sleeping. Like, sleep and I are not good friends. And this motherfucker can go to bed, and as soon as he closes his eyes, he's snoring and he's asleep. And there are nights where I've stayed awake staring at him like, if he's asleep, I should be sleeping, but I'm not. So he should be awake like I am. But I don't wake him up because I'm nice. But there are times where I look at him like, especially after we got our COVID vaccines, like I didn't sleep for 3 days. And he slept for like 40 hours straight. And every hour or two, I would go check on him, and I would look at him like, "You should be awake and miserable like I am." But I let him sleep because I loved him.
Yeah. So, when he switched into caregiver mode, I was a little afraid he was going to misery me. Totally was expecting that.
Yeah, he showed me a whole other side of myself I didn't know was still there. Like, he talked about me working on music again. For a long time, I was so wrapped up in work and everything else that I had in school and things I was doing that music was an afterthought. And music is one of the things that makes me happy. And when we talk about my inner fanboy, there was a time, y'all, where, especially before the age of MP3s, when a new album was coming out, I was at a music store or someone who sold CDs as soon as they opened to be the first person in line to buy the first copy of that album that I had been waiting months for. And it's been a long time since I was that excited about music. And then he brought my inner fanboy back out. And as all of my Magic Ninja gear can attest to, I have found my inner fanboy again.
Because it's fun. And he's like, I feel bad that I want to buy this workstation. Well, if it helps you make better products, get the workstation. Do it. I need this instrument. Then just get it. Dude, do the subscription. Just do what you need to do so you can make the stuff you want to make. That's how you have to handle it. So, yeah. And then, we have our dog over there, which I just refer to as dog, and she loves it. He found a picture of her when she was a puppy and was brought over here. The first thing she did was pee on me, y'all.
But ever since then, he has belonged to her. Like, that was her claiming ownership of me.
Yeah, I'm not a dog person, which drives them all crazy. And this dog was fucking attached to me at the hip half the time. I'm like, oh.
When she was a puppy, y'all, she just could not get enough of him.
No, she couldn't. And she's been in and out of the life, and now she's here, and she's just a spoiled dog. We're gonna do an episode just talking about the dog, just so you know. So yeah, it's been 7 years, y'all. We've had a lot of fun. And it took us this long to start making these fucking videos.
It took him a very long time to get me out of my shell enough to make one of these videos.
The dog's like, Pshaw, y'all.
She's the real star of the show.
So here's to more, because my favorite thing is they're like, well, when you get 25 years, see how you feel. Well, we'll probably still be here.
He'll be just as crazy.
He'll be just as weird.
Yeah.
Nerdy.
Probably.
Which, y'all, he made fun of me because we were going through his Hulu list, and he has a show called Ancient Top 10.
Aha. Now, continue the story.
We had to watch the episode. It's like, what the fuck is this? I'm now obsessed with this show, and there's only one season of it. And he's like, look at you learning things. I said, you know why? It's because it's short bursts of learning. It's not, here's 5 hours about one fucking boring subject. Give me some fun bits and bite-sized segments, and I have a good time.
I can do the 5 hours of one topic. And
nerd, fucking nerd. But as we go through the 7 years, we've gotten each other a lot of things. And I'm just going to tell you now, I think I've done the most romantic gifts you could think of. But this Christmas is going to be the ultimate gift in 7 years I've gotten him. The most ultimate gift. Like, I had an opportunity and I took it. I don't regret it. Nobody regrets it that's seen it so far. So I'm just teasing y'all now when it comes to Christmas time. Because we always get these weird little competitions, who's going to win Christmas. It's usually me, pulls out the star map of where the stars were when we first met, or how the planets were aligned when we said I do.
Hey, I got you the Miyazaki collection.
Yeah. So
that's a pretty badass.
That is a secret we have for 7 years, is who has the best gift, and it's usually me.
According to him, it's usually him.
It's usually me, but the Miyazaki collection did blow me away.
Yeah, pretty much.
Although full discourse, I knew it was there because disclosure. I had to go in the front room, and he had just left everything out. I was like, oh, I don't think I'm supposed to see this, so let me just turn around and walk back out. I had seen everything that year.
Because you're nosy.
I wasn't nosy. I went in there because Austin needed me to get something out of his room when he was renting that room, and you had just left everything sitting on the floor.
Well, I figured in his room it would be safe.
He left it sitting on the floor, y'all.
In a room you don't normally go into.
Not even in a box. So I'd already known. So yeah, just so you know, I do.
It was still the best gift you got that year.
Yeah. All right, so that's been this episode of So I Married a Geek. Thank you for joining us as we talk about our 7th anniversary. We're gonna have some more fun this week with some Halloween episodes and some more fun discussions. We're gonna talk about the fedora this week and the dog. We'll do the fedora and the dog in one episode.
The dog is looking at me now. Like, what does she have to do with this?
It'll be interesting because life with this dog is very different than any other animal I've ever had. I've had dogs before.
She lived on the crazy side.
None of them has been this needy or human.
Yeah. She loves TV.
And I think we're going to also talk about this week Phil's desire to have a child. Because, y'all, he doesn't understand. We're going to talk about this week. So, thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, share, send us questions. Because if you want us to ask us questions, we will do Ask Us Anything episodes. And we're going to have a lot of fun. So stay tuned for this and more Halloween episodes all week long. Right here on So I Married a Geek.